I've learned so much in the music business about just life and regular business. Because people think, oh, music business, no, that's something separate. It's like, no, it's very much similar.
So it's
like all the stuff I just learned from you earlier, talking about the venues.
Yeah.
Dude, that's business.
It's a real deal.
Every deal, they're trying to screw you.
Well, this is the thing that I think you actually have a really good handle on is like, success is just like learning the rules of the fucking game.
Right.
And like, if you learn the rules of the fucking game, then they can't fucking come at you because you know what angle they're trying to take.
I know what's going on.
It's like, don't try and fuck me on this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you and I both know what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And the second you can fucking lock in with someone like that and be like, I see you.
Yeah.
Because
most people don't see it.
Yeah. And
most people don't realize, like, hey, I'm not. And when I talk about the food, that's your source of living. You can't live without food. Why would I not teach you how to
produce that yourself? Like,
because that takes away my control. So it's the same thing in the music business where you got all these different individuals, and not necessarily the people are not. I don't think the people are innately just horrible. In this business, I think people are conditioned to what the norms are.
Yeah.
So if you're an agent, you're conditioned to whatever the norm of being an agent is.
Yeah.
If you're a manager, you're conditioned to what the norm. You're not thinking.
You think it's people just trying to fit in? Like, people feel insecure about like maybe the way they want to do things differently. And then...
No, I genuinely believe the people are really smart, but they're not wise. Right. So a lot of people, being smart is just the ability to replicate what's already there, or remember what you've seen. Oh, I remember how to do this. Wisdom is something different. It's way more vast. Hey, I've never seen this. I've never done this. But this is exactly, for some reason, I know that this will work. Completely different. A lot of people in the music business, you run into a lot of dumb people, but you also have a few people who are really smart, but they're not innovative in any way. They're not adding to the cycle. They're just, this is how things is done, that's just how it goes.
They used to just like, I can recall information and I can process information.
Yeah, that's not.
There's no proactivity.
Yeah, no. You're not. Those people are, a lot of times, they fall in the same pit as people who they deem as dumber than them.
Yes.
It's like you're really the same because all you're going to do is follow the system.
Both y'all ain't going nowhere.
You're following the system of the wise.
Yeah.
The wise rule the rest.
That's the thing.
So the wise people say, we're going to take food out of school. And then the smart people say, oh, that's fine. I'll just make more money to buy more food. But what happens when there's a food shortage? Exactly. Smart people are just good at using other people as a resource. And wise people use you. Hey, y'all are going to facilitate us at the top. But that's extreme wisdom. Nobody can teach you how to do that.
It's fucking real, man. And it takes a lot of courage, that shit, too.
Man.
And, like, confidence in yourself.
Is that room open still?
There's so many people I know, like, I'm sure you know the same. It's like people that may be amazingly talented, incredibly quick on the fucking tools and shit, but because they don't have the, like, confidence to like, step to the stage or step to the opportunity, they just, like, sit there.
Yep.
Being a fucking incredible musician for the rest of their life. Like, people hearing it.
It's crazy.
It's fucking insane.
I feel like I'm blessed in a way where I've been at every stage in life to know how it really works. Like, I feel like that's one of my gifts, even though it's like,
I really sense that.
Struggle sucks, but it's a gift if you're able to work your way up the chain, because you understand what people at the top will never understand. They don't know what's going on at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what's going on at the bottom, and you know what's going on at the top, so you're like, there's an extreme gap of information that's not traveling, because
you feel like that gave you like perspective now? Like you feel like you think about things from time to time in that frame of mind?
Yeah, I do, and I think about things in a certain way, but I think I'm guilty of being conditioned sometimes by the industry, because the industry is at the foundation of the music industry is to take from the artists. That's like how it was set up. That doesn't mean every individual person thinks like that, but once you step into a role, there's already a system that you're a part of that's like, oh, this one individual or this group, you need to take from them.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
when you understand that, I went through a lot of emotions because it's like, dang, like I'm a human being. Like, and everybody's looking at you individually, not your business, not McDonald's, the burger. It's like, no, you are the burger. You're on the menu.
You are the burger.
Everybody wants to take from you, and everybody, not because it's actually fair, but because the system around it says that it's okay.
Wow,
and everywhere else, every other business, you get fired when you don't do the job. In the music business, it's completely fine for people to make mistakes and still keep a job.
That's what's so whack about it. But in the end, the fans will
and
fire
mistakes
you. Like,
are human, but I'm saying it would be like in the music industry, it's like if you're working with, let's say you have like an agent or a manager or somebody, and you've been rocking with them for 20 years. When you fire them or y'all don't work together, the industry says, "Oh man, that's messed up. Y'all started together." It's
not about that.
From a music industry standpoint, people go, "Oh yeah, man," but on that real life spectrum, nobody cares that the manager at McDonald's got fired.
Exactly. It's like
no one cares.
Amazon can lay off like 20,000 workers in a day.
And people just keep going about their day. Nobody stops. But it's like the music industry is built to protect itself.
Yeah.
So like you'll be on Instagram and you'll be like, "Yo, it's so many incompetent managers that just get lucky, but they found the right artist with the right talent." I think the industry as a whole, because what I said, it's all the system of the. I don't like to say the individuals, but they're stepping into a system. Yeah. So that's the key thing, is if you're walking into a system of tour manager, you didn't design the structure of tour manager. You're just stepping into a role. Hey, I'm a tour manager. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. But the system around that says, hey, you get paid X, Y, and Z.
Here are the rules of the game.
Here are the rules of the game. But guess what? You can mess up for the next 3 years and keep it private. No one knows. And you still get paid. There's no repercussions or anything.
Yeah.
And I just feel like because artists are not, they're just hopping on the stage. So when you hop on that stage, you go and sing, you don't really have the wherewithal 9 times out of 10 to know all the other things going on around you for you to stand on that stage. So you don't know what to expect of people. When you don't know what to expect of people, people can get over it.
Yeah, and they get confident and cocky themselves, right? Yeah. To be honest with you, that's a big reason why I stepped into tour management, because like I've done a lot of jobs in this game. I've been an artist manager for time. I've been a producer.
Artist managing is tough.
It's tough, but like in a lot of ways, like I think artist management and tour management, they're quite, for the most part, they can be quite honest professions, because there's nowhere to hide really. Like if you're on the road with an artist and you fuck up, it's like,
oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Damn, I feel like I'm just bad at hiding my mistakes then.
Yeah, we've encountered it, but no, I feel like being a tour manager is the most. It's like being a gladiator versus being the king. Like, yeah, everybody want to be the king, but if I put the sword in your hand, can you fight?
Can you do it? Can you handle it?
When it comes down to it, I feel like being a tour manager is like, yo, I'm physically on the road.
Yeah. I'm the one
that everybody's yelling at because everyone's depending on me in this exact moment. Yeah. Because something physical is happening.
Straight up.
Versus, standard management. Honestly, I feel like it's a lot of emotional in dealing with artists' feelings, and then also their own internal capabilities. Because like a manager, there is no real qualifications for a manager, and also if you get hired at a McDonald's and they're saying, hey yo, your job is to manage this McDonald's, this is your salary. That needs to be the new standard in the business. It has to be, because then people don't have such an investment mentally, because in the music business, this is the only business where people think because they helped the business grow, that they own.
Yes.
It's like, nah, like you the manager at McDonald's, that doesn't mean anything. They're not giving you a percentage of McDonald's. Like, nigga, you a manager here. You're managing the McDonald's. Your job is to increase value because you're getting paid to do that. But the music business is just a mafia, bro. Like it's the
so
mafia,
fun,
bro.
Like no business in the world goes to a bank and it's like, I need money for my business. To have the bank say, cool, we'll loan you the money, but we get to keep the business afterwards. And you have to pay it back.
Plus, and we'll always hide the records.
Yeah. Like
So you'll never know how much money truly you made because
like,
they'll always cook the books.
I was sitting down with the artist I was just on tour with. We were just in Hong Kong for New Year's Eve. And like the New Year's Day, they were like, okay, 2025, we're gonna fucking just like clean up our shit. And together we sat down around the breakfast table and we went through the streaming reports. And they worked out that for the $60,000 they were paid that year, they earned the label.
Sounds about right.
Which is just like, but for them, like they're a young band, they haven't been in the game that long. It was like, I just told them their parents died or something, you know. It was just like so fucking hard. But they gotta know, like they gotta know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're right, like the system that they're in and how they're being manipulated.
And then you got all these clueless people in the music business. It's so scary, like when you realize like these office buildings are filled with people that don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's happening. Nobody knows anything.
No, you walk into the fucking...
Nobody knows anything useful.
Everyone's got an opinion about what's hot, but like that's not going to make anyone money because it's an opinion about a subjective product.
Yeah.
Like,
but I also think this is why I always ask people. I prompt them with the question, even though I know the answers.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at your most famous artists. Why are each one of them not billionaires?
That's a great question.
If the answer has always been, you gotta get more hits, you gotta be more visible. Well, why is the most visible people in the world automatically not billionaires?
Straight up, right?
They're more visible than Jeff Bezos. They're more visible than Elon Musk. Why is this person or this entity not a billionaire? There's reasons, because their whole ecosystem is set up to take from them.
Right.
Why? It's like you wonder these things, but the answer's there. It's the mafia.
It's plain as day, too.
Look at Kanye West. He became a billionaire and he was free.
It's free.
They don't want a bunch of free artists. That's why, like, sometimes when he's talking, like, his language, it can throw people off, but when you really peel back the layers, like, oh. When you say, yo, they got handlers, it's like, yeah, you have handlers because you have people that's around you that's going to always steer you away from the real freedom.
Yeah.
Yo, what if we do this? Like, why wouldn't an artist that's making all that money, like, I'm not even gonna name names, but just like any name you could think of, like it's a household name, you're like, yo, why are they not billionaires? Like indefinite billionaire. Because I promise you, there are people around them that are not steering them towards that status. Because all they would have to do is invest in a couple apartment buildings.
That's sweet.
And if you're really so famous, you could just start marketing it as, this is my apartment building.
Right.
Just like Bentley. Bro, I'm telling you, it's just like corporations. In Miami, every new building is a luxury building with the name of an already existing product. They got the Bentley building. They got the Aston Martin building next to my building. And they're starting it. So I'm like, yo, why isn't there the Justin Bieber building? Or
straight up
the Sabrina Carpenter building? Or like, because you don't have smart, wise people around. You got a bunch of smart dummies.
Totally.
They just want to keep getting their money, because you know what happens when artists start making money elsewhere? They not really focused on making money on music.
Well, this is the thing, man. It's like,
So if I tell Cujo, nah, you can invest this $100 million into this,
Right.
and this will make you $500 million in the next
this will
10
triple
years.
X you, yeah.
Why would I tell you that? Because if I'm your tour manager, if I'm your manager,
It's gonna be.
if I'm your
I'm not
whoever,
making money over there.
well then now
That's
my
how they
artist
think.
is not
Right.
working on the music as much, because now he's a business person.
Right, and that's what when you're talking about, you're like, well, how come this person doesn't own a part of it? Because you're not doing shit like that. Like, you know what I
Straight
mean?
up.
Like maybe you would be if you were just like, oh, I'm invested in the person. You know what I mean? I'm gonna help you win so everyone can win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
But
the
I feel like
tragedy
that's
of
why I
it.
said smart dummies.
Yes.
Because you're smart at, oh, I see what everyone else is doing. That's standard. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Versus, how can you innovate? You
Right.
know what? Any artist that works for me, I'm going to teach them how to manage their finances. Any artist that works with me, I'm going to teach them how to invest in real estate and things to grow their portfolio so that they're not fully dependent on me.
Right.
What manager any manager doing that would have all the best clients like this, because you immediately have a walking billboard and a person talking well about you. Oh my manager don't do that. Like, nah, we got investments. Like, oh, y'all do it together? No, it's my investments. He taught me how to do it, and da-da-da, or she, you know what I'm saying? I think we're so stuck in the small crumbs of music, and it's like, even if you can make $100 million in music, imagine how much money you can make without your labor.
Right.
And a building.
Right.
You're like, yo, if I bought a building, dude, you're
This
just...
is the tragedy of it, though. Is like artist managers and music people don't understand that the way to make money in music is to reach outside of the music industry and pull the money in.
Bro, think about that's why I'm saying smart dummies. They're smart with utilizing the artist to get what they want.
Yes.
But eventually, all artists and management break apart. And because I study this a lot, it saddens me because I know a lot of artists really like their managers. But it's just they get to a point where they're like, oh, this isn't making sense for me. It's only making sense for them.
Yeah. That's the thing.
So why would Scooter Braun and Justin Bieber not be working together? Because Scooter, you're a billionaire. How'd you're a billionaire and Justin
ain't.
Right.
The fuck?
That makes no sense. There's nothing you can say for that to make sense.
It's like you can try and be like,
Every
oh,
investment you made,
Right.
and it doesn't mean he's a bad person.
Nah,
it just
doesn't.
adds question to like, wait, so how you marketed to us when I was a kid? I'm seeing y'all like
we're gonna
like
win
he was your
together.
little bro, like
Yeah. Like
everything I tell my brother. I'm like, yo, I'm doing this. Well, can he afford to do it? That's his own. But I'm telling you, yo, listen, this is what's gonna do.
This is how
like,
we do it. Yeah. This is the move.
so it makes you wonder, why are you artists not billionaires? And they're you got Ariana Grande, you got Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber. Why are they not billionaires?
Yeah, fucking like these songs.
And
pop
you
the fuck
are.
up. Yeah, like this is the cooked part of it. Is like they still will do that shit. You know, like they will use your music and be like, yeah, you gotta focus on the music, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll fucking
And
go out to
they're
other
using that
industries.
to go do other things.
Be like, oh yeah, we got this brand deal. I hope it's okay. We're gonna split it. You know, 60-40,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You know, blah blah blah. All that shit. They're pulling that money out from other industries.
I think the innate nature of, like I said, the business is just, it's a system that you're stepping into. What at every level, like if you're the manager, A&R, tour manager, everyone's just stepping into their role, not knowing like, wait, am I providing absolute value? Undoubtedly.
Yeah. What are my receipts here? You know,
If
like,
what I'm doing has it changed the landscape of this, not just finances, how my artist thinks?
Right.
Am I educating them? Do they know what I know?
Right.
yeah, how are we sharing here? You know?
Are we building?
It's called management.
when
not
I'm-
financial management.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm building a company and everyone I meet with is like, hey, I love Cujo. Why doesn't Cujo have a vested interest in my company? It's not because it's not moral. It's because the music industry says you don't have to do that. So no one thinks about it. It's not that it's
Right.
inherently like some, oh no, that's not fair. It's like,
Right.
no, well, it's fair when I sign to a label, right?
Yeah.
They can own your likeness and image. How would that make sense? Is that fair, or is it just everybody said it's fair?
Smart dummies, right? Like, did you even just consider maybe thinking outside the box a little bit?
No, bro, people don't think about, when you're an artist, you're the epitome of ideas. So that's why people like Kanye, as much chaos surrounds his name, the reality is he represents all artists.
Yeah.
Every artist want to be able to just say what they think
Right.
and be wrong sometimes.
And then not
And
be
that's
fucking.
what it is exactly. Because I was trying to think about. I was like, why don't people do that more often? And I think it's really just like a fear of failure, a fear of being wrong and stuff
Yeah.
like that. If you do things that people repeatedly tell you, oh, this is the way to do it, it's like, oh, then I can never be wrong, right? But it's like, but if you don't keep trying new shit, nigga, you wrong.
Come on,
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna find what else is right. You know what I mean?
You gotta fail fast,
'Cause
man.
pro-
Like,
exactly.
fucking get through
Gonna
those.
be some more right
Yeah.
shit.
And you gotta realize this business it keeps changing.
Right.
It's always changed,
Uh-huh.
but we just live in the most rapid change in time. So like 4 months ago, algorithm's different than now.
Right.
8 months before then, completely different. But there was a time in history where it wasn't changing that drastic. It was like, maybe every 10 years. Oh, Michael Jackson dropped a video. All the white people say, well, we don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Then the industry changed once he got his video on TV.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, this little nigga, people like watching him for real. We gonna keep making money off of this? Let it go. Touche.
You know what?
Like, cool.
We might be onto something here. We might be doing something
We might be
good.
on this- yeah, but it's like the fact that Michael Jackson couldn't be on TV.
Shit is fucking crazy.
Like, we think of the music industry as like this amazing tool, which it is. But we also don't realize, in a beautiful way, I think it's good for artists to not know every boundary in their face. But you don't realize it's the same system. So
You're not escaping
it's
shit.
a reason that you don't see a lot of huge black pop artists. We think that it's just like, black people don't make pop music.
It's a cultural semiotic, right?
It's a system that's suppressing that because it costs too much money to make a pop star in general. But if I'm the people investing, why am I gonna make a black person a pop star? Why am I gonna give you that power? I don't know what you're gonna do with it. You might go see Louis Farrakhan and start being like, you know what, I got this 500 million now. I want to start helping my people. Nah, we don't need you doing that at all. So that's why when you fit the narrative, it always makes sense. That's why you always see like the biggest facing black people are usually rappers who are talking nonsense.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, how is this in our face all the time? Because they're bending the algorithms to do that. Because they're like, all right, cool. When you start a platform, we're going to give a white face fame. Ever since MySpace, you've never seen a black artist break off of social media.
It's true,
Ever
man.
since. It's always a white person in the beginning. You be like, yo, who is these normal looking shorties? Like, why are they like the biggest? Like, nothing special about them at all. They just doing it.
Yeah, they do that dance.
And they don't even understand it themselves. They don't know that they're being used.
They're like, okay.
They don't know the algorithm
I'm
of
really
this thing.
talented and smart.
Selected them.
Is there a better like puppet marionette metaphor than being like, hey, you gotta do this TikTok dance?
Just imagine racism with an algorithm.
So
It's no person doing it anymore. There's no MTV saying, we as a collective won't select you. Now it's like, well, the algorithm just didn't choose. Who made the algorithm?
Who made
the
that? Who
algorithm?
made that?
That's hard, man.
Algorithm. Right.
Who made the algorithm?
Right.
The people with the mind. The mind, they injected into the algorithm. So
Like
when
an
we start this
algorithm.
app, TikTok,
Yeah.
coincidentally, the most famous people on TikTok when they launched was all white kids.
Yeah.
Who they themselves said, I wasn't even popular at my own school. Nobody even knew me. Now girls think he's cute, or this girl's
Right,
cute. It's like
right,
nobody
right.
look.
I just
But
followed
because
the
that's
cheat
the
code.
power of,
Fucking all of a sudden-
Everybody, like, come on, guys, let's do it.
and it's not a diss to them as individuals.
Nah.
It's just revealing the algorithms favor
Right.
certain types of things.
Like,
Yeah.
by
90%
definition,
of that shit
algorithms are created. Like, like
But
we
people
say
think
the
like,
algorithm
oh, you
like
just
it's
gotta
a-
feed the algorithm. It's like, no,
like it's
number
a
one, you gotta
mythical
spend a
thing.
lot of money
Right.
to even reach the people you're trying to reach.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to, once you grab them, you gotta choke the life out of them in the sense of like, come on,
Do not
come
let go.
on.
Right.
Because now we got your eyes, I have to sell you something and off platform.
You gotta move them from attention
Yeah.
to an awareness to interest to desire to action. Like, you gotta
It's a
fucking.
whole business behind it, but people don't understand that's happening. And I feel like a lot of artists, they suffer because they don't understand what they're walking into. It's
Almost
like,
the
it's a
economics
scripture
of
in
it.
the Bible that says like, if you're gonna build a temple, would you not first account the cost? And it's
true.
not that it's gonna be cheap or expensive, it's just like you have to do the account.
You gotta know what you're
Like,
walking into.
what am I about to, what is it gonna cost me to face this X, Y, and Z? So that's one of my big things that I'm always, every door I walk, before I walk in, I'm like, what is this gonna cost me?
Straight up, man.
Whether it's physical, mental, financial,
What's the
I
down?
need to know what this costs me because I spent a lot of my time just walking through the door.
Right.
And then they hit you with the tax. Oh, you know that door? Yeah, that's gonna be 100,000.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I just,
the one I just
y'all
walked
didn't even
through?
do anything when I walked in. I just,
Yeah. I just walked through 3 of those.
yeah.
We was gonna tell you earlier, but
300,000.
we didn't want to stress you out.
Oh, you walked through 3? Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, it's the extra bill.
It's like Shaquille O'Neal said this crazy thing. He was saying like when he was playing ball, at a certain point he started to become like involved in his business, and he would sit in the meetings, and like people would talk to the other business people.
Not even.
And he would be like, "Hold on. It's my situation.
My shit.
Y'all talk to me." And it's like, as artists, we don't even see artists doing that. So, as creative as artists are, we're like babies. Like a raw artist is like a child, and if they're guided wrong, you see it every time. It's just a spiral of death. Like, so you gotta. That's why when you management and all these people, it's dangerous for artists to immediately run into those things because you haven't been matured yet enough to understand that maybe everybody don't know what's best for you or what's best for anybody. Because if everybody had the answers, why they can't just pick anybody?
You think that's part of like?
You know who got the answers? K-pop.
True.
For some reason, they start a group with 25 people. Next thing you know, they got 500 million streams. And you're like, oh, you know, they might got something. America can't do that for some reason. They can't pick up Cujo, Pink.
Well, these motherfuckers
and be like, yo,
like the ethic is insane, man. Like
it's
the work ethic is
it's also like if it's a machine here, it's a machine in a machine in a machine over there.
Oh my god,
it is crazy. They like select people, and it's like you.
But what are they selecting it on? Mostly image.
100%.
So that lets you know how powerful the minds. But see, bro, I love Asia. That's why I love Asia, because nothing's hidden.
Yeah.
It's almost like they don't call celebrities celebrities. They call them idols. Yeah. That's what they are. You're my idol.
That's what the idol
It freaked me out when I grew
Yeah.
up Christian, so I'm like, wait. They're like, you're my
idols.
favorite idol. I'm like, whoa.
Slow
down. I'm no one's idol. God, you heard me, right? Like, I'm not an idol. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not nothing. I'm just a nigga that likes to sing, and I want to take care of my.
Hey, who going to Asia with you? Like, is Dante in?
The whole crew.
Yeah. You should have Dante walk up to the mic on stage one
stage.
day and
just see what happens.
See if not you put it.
That'd be funny as fuck.
That'd be crazy.
Just see.
That's gonna be wild.
They're gonna be like, Big Sweat.
Yeah.
I love you.
Honestly, if I could turn Pink Sweats into like a brand like that where I don't have to be there, just like other chubby niggas look like me.
Yo, it's not bad. I mean, that's the K-pop
like
model
Marshmello.
too. Marshmello, perfect.
Like anybody could be on the scene.
Oh my god, I don't think that nigga actually even shows up there.
Yeah.
I was like, it was my grad night or whatever. We were at the Universal, and it was Marshmello, right? But he had an opener, and it was like just some random like white dude, and he was just playing like similar like EDM type shit.
Similar shit.
And he was just like, yeah, y'all ready for Marshmello? And the crowd was like a bunch of white people. They're like, yeah. And he was like, all right, yeah. 15 minutes. And it was like, well, why'd you even tell us? It was like,
why are you even bringing that up?
and then
these niggas up, and I'm like, damn. That
shit,
like,
man.
How do they know who I am, and how do they know to market that to me? But then I'm looking at one of my other friends' algorithms.
It's all fucking, chaperones, spreading
right.
Like,
and I'm like,
what? This is the thing, man.
They know everything about you.
Bro,
too.
they know
everything.
And then the funny thing is, you'll end up indulging in it because